Welcome back to episode 108 of the BatChums podcast. I'm Drew Leiter, and joining me tonight is my co-host, the man, the myth, the new legend, Mike Gordon.
Howdy, good sir.
You don't have the foggiest notion of what you're doing.
No, I don't. I don't. It's been too long since we've recorded. It's gonna take me a little while to get back in this swing of things.
So this is Batman season 3, episode 12, The Foggiest Notion. Episode aired Thursday, November 30th, 1967, directed by Oscar Rudolph, story by Elkin Allen, and teleplay by Elkin Allen and Charles Hoffman.
Now, I did a little bit of more research on our friend Alkin Allen, just to see, because like I said the last time, the names, I wasn't able to come up with much because he hadn't done a lot, but he actually had done quite a bit, not just with Batman or Batman related things. He was the producer of Ready, Steady, Go, and was known as in the press as, quote, the man who switched on Britain. He was a journalist and wrote for many newspapers, including Variety and The Times, interviewing such, like a lot of celebrities like Richard Burton, Orson Welles, and whatnot. He published one of Britain's first magazines about video called Video Viewer, and was a lifelong gambler and wrote about poker in many newspapers and even online. So yeah, he had a lot. He did have a pretty good pedigree, but just not with, Batman related things, or even really for, if like I said, if you pull him up as on the IMDb, there's not much as far as what he contributed to TV or movies, but outside of that, he had, quite the career.
Another crystal clear day in Londinium. Though things are getting a bit thick in Superintendent Watson's office in Venerable Ireland Yard. Before they left Ffogg Place, Batman and Robin had ample evidence that Lord Ffogg and Lady Peasoup could be the culprits they were called from Gotham City to uncover. However, the delayed action knockout Ffogg capsule that exploded in the Batmobile cinched it. Luckily, their general emergency bat extinguisher took care of that.
Luckily,
Robin wonders if the Highwaymen planted something similar on Batgirl's cycle. Batman points out they never really saw Batgirl's bat cycle. She could have escaped completely unscathed. Superintendent Watson wonders how Lord Ffogg could be involved with these robberies with his gout so bad. Batman believes it could just be an act.
I
Watson
want
wondered. Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Just real quick, because I wanted to, because we're getting in this back and forth between Batman and Commissioner Gordon and Watson. We're getting these shots of the office, and Watson is sitting just underneath this big portrait of Sherlock Holmes. We mentioned that it was there in the last episode, but I just thought it was really prominent here, and it made me wonder. Both, of course, Batman and Sherlock Holmes, known as the world's greatest detective, right? Like there's both have had that moniker, and I was thinking about it because I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, and I'm like, what have they teamed up, or have they done anything with Batman and Sherlock Holmes in the comics? And the answer is yes, but not a lot. Not a lot. Sherlock Holmes has been in many comics. A lot of his adventures have been adapted by various companies, including Marvel, and Classics Illustrated, those kind of things. But DC actually took a stab at Sherlock Holmes. They did in 1975. They had a Sherlock Holmes comic that was an adaptation of The Final Problem and Adventure of the Empty House, which is a two-parter by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, in which Sherlock Holmes confronts Moriarty, and they fall over They fall over uh, this this waterfall and seemingly both die, but then Sherlock Holmes comes back. Spoiler. Um, now in 1987, there was a Detective Comics issue 572, which was the 50-year anniversary issue of Detective Comics. They they did team up for like a second. It's a weird sort of exchange between them, but they did have a interaction there. Also in Joker number six from 1976, uh, the Joker met up with a person who thought he was Sherlock Holmes, and that Joker was Moriarty, and so that was kind of fun. And then in the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon in 2009, there was an episode called Trials of the Demon, in which Batman and Sherlock Holmes team up to fight the Gentleman Ghost. So, it sounds cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Um, not a lot of interaction though. I mean, over the, longest time that Batman's been around, 80 years, right? So you'd think that the two would intersect more. I'm really surprised that, to find out that they're like, there's no Elseworlds where Batman is Sherlock Holmes or Sherlock Holmes is Batman or something, like something like that, some crossover like that. I must admit, I'm gonna have to pitch something to DC if they're still doing Elseworlds. Uh, although they call
They
them
are.
Black Label now, right?
No, they've brought back Elseworlds.
Ah, well, maybe I'll have to pitch that to them because I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, here we have two of, like I said, the world's greatest detectives, obviously in that category, and I would love to see them interact together somehow. So I was kind of surprised that this is the only now. Viewers and listeners out there, if you could think of other opportunities where they have teamed up, I'd like to hear about them because those are the only ones I know about. And I do have most of those, those comics, that Sherlock Holmes one from 1975, as well as the Detective Comics 572. I have both of those in my collection, but I'm a big, like I said, I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, so I would love to see them team up and do something else. But we get it close here because we do have Watson.
Watson wonders if it was in Act Two that Lady Peasoup invited Ms. Gordon, the commissioner's own daughter, to join the faculty of Fogg Place, even for a short while. Batman strongly recommends that Barbara does not accept.
Yeah,
Watson,
he's pretty stirred about that.
yeah,
I strongly recommend she does not accept, like he's, yeah, pretty is, yeah.
Watson strongly recommends that they do not offend one of the most aristocratic families in the land. Holy gullibility! Robin thinks Barbara is headed for trouble. Before Robin can say more, Barbara arrives at Watson's office with a package for Batman. Suddenly, the package begins to smoke. Batman believes it is about to explode and tells them all to stand back. And then the title credits roll. And I had to laugh. If they think it's going to explode, let's just step back. No, let's get out of the room.
I know, right? No, no. Batman knows. Batman knows it's not going to explode. He's 10 steps ahead. Remember, Drew? He knows what's going on.
All right. Are our heroes are our heroes' guts about to decorate Superintendent Watson's walls? Only one interior decorator knows for sure. Magic Batman.
Is that English Magic Batman? Londinium Magic Batman?
Yeah. Londinium Magic Batman. Londinium Magic Batman. Are our heroes about to be blown to pieces? Let's see what he says. Evidence points to yes.
Well, he
All
would
right.
run out of the room if he had legs, but he
If he
doesn't
had
have
legs.
legs.
All right, let's see if I can say remember how to say this. Holy Tintin abulation! The package destroyed, but our heroes seem fine.
So, tintinnabulation is a phrase used by Edgar Allan Poe in a poem he wrote called The Bells. And to be honest with you, I have no idea what it means or why he is uttering. Oh, because it's bells, right? Because they
Yeah.
find bells, right? So, yeah. So, wow, what a deep cut that is. Credit to the writers for that one. I mean, that's Robin has really been studying hard. If he's quoting Edgar Allan Poe here, very,
Well,
very, very cool. That might be one of the best or most obscure holy utterances we've gotten on the show.
well, you remember he had all that time on the ship to study on the way over there.
He did. He did. Yeah. Brought all those books and equipment. So yeah, yeah. So that's a new one. But that's really funny. I like that too.
Inside the package are three silver bells. Batman believes they are a clue to a famous pub on the river dock area called the Three Silver Bells.
Yeah, the Three Bells is a play on the famous Ten Bells pub in East London, and it's near the Docklands. And from what I understand, it's still in use, but it has connotations with the Jack the Ripper legend as well, or the story, if you will. So it's a London trade landmark for sure, historical landmark.
Holy rising hemlines! Are Batman and Robin being dared to stop a robbery of miniskirts?
That's yeah, Robin's really on a roll here.
Shortly at Fogg Place, Penelope does not understand why she and the girls are expected to go down to the docks and be by the three bells. Marmaduke reminds her that it was her plan to lift the cargo bound for the Dominions from Barnaby Street. A master plan involves various stages of preparation. This stage involves not only the purloining of a shipment of material, thereby controlling the fashion world of Londinium, but also getting rid of Batman once and for all. Her ladyship, Miss Gordon, arrives at Fogg Place to discover there has been a change of plans. Lady Penelope and the girls have to run into Londinium, and Lord Fogg has an appointment in the city too. Miss Gordon is glad that Lord Fogg's gout has gotten better. Lady Peasoup adds that it's always Lady Peasoup adds that it always improves with the change of weather.
You you suffer from gout, Drew?
No.
Good for you. I don't either. I've had plantar fasciitis, which I guess is kind of close, but I know friends who suffer from, and I say suffer because gout is just terrible. It's one of those things where if you have it, there's a lot that like the doctor just is like you just have to suffer through it. There's not a lot you can really do about it. So it's pretty bad. So um, but Lord Fogg doesn't really have gout, as we know.
Lord Fogg suggests that Lady Prudence should remain at Fogg Place with Miss Gordon to show her everything Miss Gordon should be shown. Now that they have gotten her all
Wink,
the
wink.
way now that they've gotten her all the way out to Fogg Place, they are not going to let her go. And then you see Barbara's look.
Yeah, like because she suspects.
Yeah.
She suspects as well. Yeah, and she probably, she's not stupid, I don't think. So, well, then again, on this show, you don't know. But uh, I think she knows that the people that attacked Batman and Robin when she helped out with the fight in the last episode, they looked pretty familiar. So, especially since one of them was breathing down her neck while she was trying to use the phone.
Meanwhile, in Londinium's dock area, the Batmobile arrives. The dynamic duo spot both the pub and the ship with its cargo from Barnaby Street. Batman tells Robin to wait by the Batmobile. They have strict licensing they have strict licensing laws in this country, and a boy of his age is not allowed to go into a tavern.
I, I'm
Isn't that
I'm confused because in London and Britain, the drinking age is lower than it is in the United States. I know this because I went to Britain, did an internship in London, and I was not legal to drink in the United States when I went there, but I was in Britain. So now, granted, he's still young, but yeah, he just got his license, so I think he's old enough, but I don't know. This is the 60s. I didn't look up all the rules about uh, drinking ages over there at that time. So I don't know, but it seems odd to me.
Batman enters Ye Three Bells pub and finds Lord Fogg drinking with three of his men. Batman notices right away that Lord Fogg's gout has cleared up. Lord Fogg states that he is the second observant person he met today. Okay. Lord Fogg asks Batman if he'd like to join them for a tankard. Batman states that he does not drink.
He does not drink. No. Well, I mean, he could get some milk. He drinks. He just doesn't drink, beer or alcohol. But no. And yeah, it is weird that he asks him like that he's, drinking a tanker instead of a pint. Like I most time, and when I was in Britain, and most British people I know just refer to it as a pint. So, but then again, this is like a silly version of London. I've been to London, but I've never been to Londinium. So what do I know?
Lord Fogg wonders what Batman is doing in this pub. Batman suspects that Lord Fogg can answer that better than he can, and Lord Fogg agrees. While Batman is talking, one of Lord Fogg's men grabs a bottle from a nearby table and sneaks behind Batman. He tries to hit Batman over the head with the bottle, but Batman elbows him in the gut first, causing him to stumble back. A
Man,
fight ensues.
man, that happened fast. I was like, when he went to swing at him, and I was like, what happened here? Like all of a sudden, I mean, Batman just moved so fast. I just didn't really get what was going on there. I thought he just missed, or collapsed for no reason. But yeah, and then we get a fight with Batman by himself, which we don't usually see.
No, I don't think we've had any fights this season that I can remember that hasn't had Batman, Robin, and Batgirl in it.
That's a fair point. Yeah, usually she joins in too, even if she's, joining in late. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. So yeah, we see Batman going one on one with four guys.
yep. The pub patrons quickly scatter to a nearby corner. Lord Lord Fogg cheers on his men from the sidelines enjoying his beer. Batman is able to hold his own for quite a while, even swinging on the chandelier and taking out one of the thugs. After that, one of the thugs smashes a chair onto Batman and he falls to the ground. Two of the thugs quickly pick him up and force him back to the bar. A third pummels him in the stomach. Overpowered, Lord Fogg tells Batman he is very agile, but hardly observant. Otherwise, Batman would have realized that every person in this pub knows where his next meal is coming from, and a large group slowly moves towards Batman.
Yeah, that was odd because I thought it went to they kept saying that the pub is now belongs to hippies. Those didn't look like hippies, but and mobsters, but yeah, and I guess Batman should just be glad that none of them wanted to join in. They may not interfere, but they didn't join in on fighting him. And I will say, like, when he's being held and the one guy just keeps like beating him in the gut, I was like, man, that's kind of brutal for this show. I don't think we've seen that kind of violence. That seemed pretty over the top there for even for this show standards.
Right. Now, I wanted to point out when Batman came into the pub, I noticed there is a table that's playing checkers. I thought that was odd. Maybe you might see somebody playing poker or something, but not checkers.
Well, again, have you ever been to Londinium, Drew? I don't think
Nope,
so.
I
So
haven't.
checkers is all the rage in pubs all over Londinium.
While Batman is cornered in the bar, outside on the docks, Robin the Boy Wonder spots Lady Peasoup and her girls. Acting quickly, Robin grabs a nearby fire axe and chops the rope holding the ship,
Okay,
and it drifts away.
two things here. One, Robin is does one of the smartest things I think he's ever done on this show, um, by immediately just letting the barge go, which cutting the rope to the barge and letting it get out of their hands. I thought that was pretty smart on his point. And two, we see Lady Peasoup, and she's with the boarding school girls, and man, I'll tell you what, even in the last episode, it kind of reminded me of something. And so I, I did a search for British boarding school girls, and obviously there's a lot of things that are not safe for work, so I had to avoid those. But there is it. I instantly I got it. I got it. There was a British cartoon series called Saint Trinians, and it was around from 1946 to 1952. And the cartoons all centered around a boarding school for girls, where the teachers are sadists, and the girls are juvenile delinquents. And they also made a series of films about them too, starting in 1954, The Bells of St. Trinians, and that was followed up with a sequel called The Blue Murder at St. Trinians. And uh, they also revived the series in the 60s, The Pure Hell of St. Trinians in 1960, The Great St. Trinians Train Robbery in 1966, and then there was a sort of another reboot in 1980 called The Wildcats of St. Trinians. And just recently, I guess recently, quote unquote, in the 2000s, 2007, they came out with a movie called St. Trinians, and then that was followed up a couple years later by St. Trinians 2, Legend of Fritton's Gold. So, and in all of these movies, it's basically these girls who um, are embroiled in some sort of crime, and usually I think they're doing like heists and whatnot, shady enterprises, and so I have to believe that this boarding school that Pea Soup has is sort of based on around that cartoon series, that comic strip, and that series of movies, because they were, like I said, the last one made, or sorry, there was one made in 1966, the Great St. Trinian's train robbery. So it was an active property that was going on, making with movies and such. So um, I haven't seen any of these movies. I don't know if they're any good or not. But I was sort of familiar with the comic strip. I think I've seen a few of those, and so that's why it kind of triggered something in me when we saw them. So that's, I think, where this is a spoof of the Saint Trinian series is what's going on here as well.
Robin Robin runs toward the pub entrance, but the girls grab him and push him back against the hood of the Batmobile. Robin calls Lady Peasoup a 20th century witch because she knows Robin won't fight a female, even a small army of females. One of the girls rubs her hand over Robin's chest, telling him what marvelous threads he has. The other girls join in. Lady Peasoup orders the girls to stop gushing over him and pick him up, and the girls carry Robin away as their prisoner.
Yeah, I'm sure Burt Ward hated filming these scenes.
rendezvous outside Fogg Place, Barbara Gordon informs Alfred that she doesn't understand Lady Prudence, Lord Fogg's daughter, but she strongly suspects Lady Peasoup is running a school for gentle crooks, not gentle women. Barbara believes there are strong feelings between Lady Prudence and her aunt. Lady Prudence could be playing all sides against each other for her reasons of her own. Alfred wonders how Barbara got away. Barbara answers that it won't be, Barbara answers that it wasn't easy, but that she could explain later, but never does.
Yeah, we don't get that explanation. Not in this episode. But there's too much happening. We got to move on. We got to move on, Drew.
Right now, she needs to return to Lord Fogg's cricket pavilion. It's the only place it's the only place Lady Prudence didn't show her, and she may learn something from it. Lord Fogg allows no one but his sister and himself inside. Alfred's not certain he can allow Barbara to go by herself, but Barbara assures him that Batgirl can take care of herself. Barbara asks Alfred to get a message to her father informing him that she'll be staying at Fogg Place later than expected, and to also ask him to alert Batman. For Barbara Gordon, it's back to being Batgirl, and in due time, slipping into the forbidden Cricket Pavilion at Fogg Place, where she finds Count Claremont's coin collection, the Duchess's, the Duchess of Desborough's diamonds, and Her Majesty's priceless snuff boxes, along with Lady Esterlin's jeweled Easter eggs. So basically, all this treasure they stole.
All the stuff, all the loot.
Lady Prudence spots Batgirl snooping around the forbidden Cricket Pavilion. She opens a green box that reads Cricket Pavilion, paralyzing gas gauge, emergency use only. Lady Prudence turns the red knob, releasing the gas into the Cricket Pavilion, paralyzing Batgirl. Back at the Three Bells pub, Lord Fogg has Batman tied to a chair. He attaches a device to Batman's cowl and activates it.
What
Lord Fogg. Oh, go ahead.
what's really cool here, even before this scene starts, when we turn back to the pub, is that all three of our heroes are in separate danger. And I just thought it was pretty cool that we get, all three of them in danger. We haven't seen this happen before with all three of them, you know, really kind of in cliffhanger situations. And I thought that I think the script on this second episode is very tight, and constantly our heroes are in some kind of danger. And I think it moves along really quickly, and I really think it hits it all. Like I love the fact that, again, we've got all three heroes, and it's like, well, the other ones can't save each other because they're all dealing with something. And unlike any of the Gotham heroes, the Foggs have managed to divide and conquer, if you will, our heroes, which I think is really awesome. I think this is a really like smart script here, and really engaging.
Lord Fogg explains to his men that no man has ever been more fog-bound than Batman at this very moment. He may not be able to move for a moment or two, but when he does, his mind will be completely blank. A pretty puzzlement for their friends at Ireland Yard. Lord Fogg, Lord Fogg's men untie Batman and leave him there. When Batman comes to, the pub is completely empty. Batman wanders out of the pub, not sure where he's at or who he is.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird scene when he comes to in the pub and he looks around and sees all these people around him, and then they just sort of dissolve and fade away and there's nobody there, and it's like that's a That's really weird. You just don't, I mean, you kind of are with Batman. You don't know really what's going on. Is he imagining people? Is he there just over a long period of time and people are, the pub's closed or like what's going on there? It's really kind of creepy.
Yeah. Alfred comes running up to Batman, wondering what has happened to him. He does not recognize Alfred. Alfred gets him into the Batmobile and then drives him back to the Londinium Batcave.
Man, Alfred, good on Alfred because he's driving vehicles that are on the left, on the right, on the left, on the right, and he's just got to like switch over and he's skilled. He's a skilled butler. So I give him credit though because I would not I don't think I'd be confident that I could do that. Remember which side of the road I'm supposed to be on.
Back at the Londinium Batcave, Alfred uses the Recollection Cycle Bat Restorer to bring back Batman's memories. After
Yeah,
Bat,
that's handy. Let's put it
yeah,
that way.
yeah, it is. Batman's not without his memory for long, that's for sure.
No, he's not. They don't really get a chance to play that up or anything like that. And, you know, yeah. I mean, look, it's good to have something like that because we have seen other criminals who have not mind wiped him, but taken over his mind or whatever. So I guess it's a good thing to have. So finally, he did invent something to help him with in case that happens. So, I guess he's putting it to use here. So good on them. And Alfred knew enough to pack it.
After Batman's memory returns, the Cape Crusader realizes that Robin is missing. Alfred suggests Batman contact Commissioner Gordon at Ireland Yard just in case just in case Robin contacted them. At Ireland Yard, Chief O'Hara has flown in from Gotham City to pick up the minutes of the last meeting and personally deliver them to Mayor Linseed rather than trust the mail. There is nothing like an Irish carrier pigeon.
Yeah, I guess Stafford Rep needs to get a check and be in all the episodes because it just seems kind of ridiculous for him to be in this.
I'm just sad we didn't get a Begora from him.
By Jove and Bagora. It is kind of funny because I think he does sort of mention that, he's Irish. So, you know, but I don't know if he's ever been to Ireland proper, but he's got the accent, quote unquote.
Suddenly, the red phone rings and Watson answers it. It is Batman for Commissioner Gordon. Batman informs Commissioner Gordon that Lord Ffogg trapped him in the Three Bells pub. He's all right now, but the boat for the domination has mysteriously vanished along with Robin. Superintendent Watson contacts the River Patrol immediately. After Batman gets off the phone, he asks Alfred how he found him. Alfred tracked him by using the Batmobile bat tracking device. Batgirl discovered that the finishing school at Ffogg Manor is for girl criminals, and she is now investigating the super secret cricket pavilion there. Batgirl thought Batman ought to know. Back at the cricket
Wait, wait,
pavilion,
wait, 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 wait.
we're going to come back to it in a minute.
Okay.
I'm doing it how the show did it, so
Yeah,
we'll be
yeah, yeah,
back to it
yeah.
in a minute.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Back at the cricket pavilion, Lady Peasoup and the girls have returned from the docks to find Batgirl paralyzed. Lady Peasoup has Batgirl taken to the dungeon immediately below their gallery. Lord Ffogg, oh, also wanted to comment in there. We were it said earlier that nobody goes in that pavilion except for Lord Ffogg and Lady Peasoup, but she brought all the girls in there.
Yeah, she did.
Lord Ffogg calls from his club on Bleat Street and learns from Lady Penelope that the ship is missing, but they have captured Robin, the Boy Wonder, and Batgirl. Apparently, bats come in both sexes, and this female of the species broke into his treasure trove. Lord Fogg states that he has a much better idea for Robin than the dungeon.
Dun, dun, dun.
Back at the Londinium Batcave, Batman states that he respects Alfred's reticence concerning Batgirl. Their first order of business is finding Robin using the Bat computer. They have no other choice.
Okay, so we came back to
Yes, I told you we
it.
would, but I did not know that word before I looked it up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now it is awkward, right? Like the that Batman finally gets it that Alfred has knowledge about Batgirl that he does not have. And he kind of confronts him a little bit, and it's a little awkward. And Batman says, cool, but you kind of think he's not cool about it. Did you get that sense too?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's going to play out in a different episode or we're just going to let it go.
We'll see. We'll find out because yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like they're kind of building to this, but we'll see. Like I said, it seems like and honestly, I mean, some folks might be laughing at this or whatever that are, bless you if you're paying attention to us. But I can't recall if they ever find out who she is. So uh it is a running gag at this point that, Batman is just totally dumbfounded by who she is and all of that. But he respects her, and so he's not going after her. But now he's confronted with someone within his own camp that has information that he does not have, and that's yeah, that's kind of awkward.
The Bat computer spits out some cards that read Wanch, Wench, Wunch. Batman states he does Batman states it doesn't make any sense. Batman hits the side of the Bat computer and it spits out one last card
Apparently,
that
he thinks he's
reads
the Fonz.
Winch. Yeah, I know.
Man, I tell you what, the I don't know, the back computer is just a device that I think they're having fun with, but it is just sort of just awkward. They keep using it, it keeps doing weird things, and I don't know. I guess I should enjoy it a little bit more than I am, but for some reason, I find it kind of I don't know, eye rolling at times.
The last card that the Bat computer spits out reads Winch, and it still doesn't make sense. Alfred disagrees, pointing out that the most prominent winch in Londinium is the winch room inside the tower bridge, which operates the mechanism which raises the arms of the bridge to let ships through. Elsewhere, inside the tower bridge, Lord Fogg has Robin tied to the winch so when the next ship comes along, he will be wound to death. Lord Fogg wants to go outside and watch the boy wonder die. Pip pip, chin chin, cheerio.
No, 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 no. You have to stay in if you want to watch him die.
As an approaching ship starts activating the tower bridge, Robin has good reason to look horrified. Is this the end of the boy wonder? Only one ship captain knows the answer. Magic Batman.
So we get another cliffhanger of sorts here. And yeah, that's this episode is kind of packed with them.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
Magic Batman could have come out like a couple of scenes ago too. Like he could have been all over this episode because we're getting it seems like cliffhanger after cliffhanger. They're in, each one of them is in dire straits often, which I think is pretty engaging.
Yes. All right, Magic Batman. Will Robin the boy wonder be wound to death? Answer on patrol. Try again later.
Wow. Okay. See, it's even wearing him out. There's so many little like tiny cliffhanger type situations that even Magic Batman's like, look, I'm tired. I need a vacation.
He needs to go to Londinium. Batman and Alfred arrive at the Tower Bridge in the Batmobile. Batman tells Alfred that if the ship gets any closer to that bridge, Robin is done for. Batman orders Alfred to quickly grab the anti-mechanical bat ray in the bat glove compartment. To save Robin's life, they will have to zero the bat ray in on the mechanic. To save Robin's life, they will have to zero the bat ray in on the mechanical apparatus and render it useless. Lord Ffogg and his men descend the stairs and realize something has happened. The blooming bridge has stopped moving. Blimey! They better get back to the winch room. Tally ho, and away they go.
To the winch room.
Inside the winch room, Batman quickly frees Robin. Lord Ffogg and his men return, and a fight ensues. During the fight, Lord Ffogg lights up his pipe of fog, and smoke fills the winch room. What's this? Batman and Robin fog-bound in the winch room of Tower Bridge? And Batgirl still paralyzed by paralyzing fog in the dungeon of Fog Place? By Jove, it's disturbing. By Jove, it's exciting. By Jove, it's mystifying. By Jove, watch the next episode. By Jove.
Bagora. This is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Drew, but I think this is the first proper cliffhanger on an episode that we've gotten since the third season started. Like all of our heroes are in some sort of danger. And even though they've been in danger this entire episode, it ends with them. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. Right now, I mean, Batman and Robin are just in fog, but
Yeah.
but I mean, Batgirl is chained up into a dungeon, and so we don't know what's going to happen to our heroes, and it feels like a first or second season uh, cliffhanger ending than we've gotten this season before.
I
To me,
totally
anyway.
agree with you there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought this was a fun episode.
Oh yeah, like I said, I think it moved fast, and like I said, our heroes were constantly. It was almost like, I kind of felt like it was, if you'll forgive me, to use another trilogy. It kind of felt like an Empire Strikes Back, where it was like moving, 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 and it ended with a cliffhanger. Like it's the middle chapter, so our heroes are constantly in danger. The villains are they're constantly on the run trying to figure out what's going on. The villains are at them every chance that they can get, and it ends with Batman and Carbonite. Oh no, sorry, that's
Well, you picked my favorite Star Wars movie, so kudos to
so
you.
yeah. Overall, I thought it was a pretty solid second episode to this, and I'm looking forward to seeing it wrapped up because there are elements that we have not like they've thrown out things that are kind of like is this going to be followed up on? The killer bees that were introduced in the first episode, are those going to come into play? Um the what is happening with Prudence? Like what is she doing? Um will Batman and Robin discover Batgirl's identity? Because it seems like they're getting closer in this episode. And will O'Hara make his flight home? We don't know these things, Drew. So he didn't have to come by boat.
No, but if he's gonna be in the third episode, he's got to be stuck in Londinium.
Stuck in Londinium with the Gotham Blues. But I thought it was pretty solid. So,
All right, well that wraps up another episode. Do you have a shout out?
another tribute, I'm afraid, because we lost another amazing talent that I think really was an impactful influence on comics in general, not just DC or Batman, but we lost Jerry Conway, who was a writer, editor. He actually did some television work too, but he's mainly known for his comic work. He did a lot of work for Marvel and DC. For Marvel, he created the Punisher, so that's pretty impactful.
Yeah.
And he also killed off Gwen Stacy in Amazing Spider-Man issue. A big That was like one of the first times a major character like that had been killed like that. So that was pretty engaging. But if we're just looking at his Batman work, I mean, that was pretty solid too. He had runs on both Batman and Detective Comics, and many of the issues that I grew up reading, that even that we've talked about on this show, like the Black Spider issue, like he created the Black Spider. In fact, when I met Jerry Conway, I had him sign the issue of the Black Spider that I had when I was a kid, because I like that issue a lot. But he also created the character Jason Todd. That's a pretty big one as well.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work with Man Bat as well. He didn't create Man Bat, but he did a lot of work with him. In fact, I think there was even I think Man Bat had his own miniseries for a while that Conway wrote. So he also created the character Firestorm, which is not, directly a Batman thing, but uh, his run on Justice League of America was pretty extensive and fun too, as well as World's Finest, which featured Batman and Superman. And so, yeah, he also created the character Vixen, which has been shown in various incarnations in live action, even. And that's just a small part of what he brought to the table with comics. And he was from when I met him and the interviews I've always seen with him and everything, he seemed like a pretty solid guy. And matter of fact, he started at a young age when he was doing these comics, and he always managed to give forward. A lot of folks, when they were, reminiscing about him after his passing, were talking about how they got their big break and they owe their careers to him. So, I'm sure that you are familiar with his work as well.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So if you have the DC app or Marvel app even, or any sort of comics, you'll find that Jerry Conway's writing is all throughout a lot of those. They did produce a 3 volume. I think it's just hardcover. It might be soft cover as well, but they have the Tales of Batman, which collect almost all of his Batman work. So if you get Tales of Batman volumes 1, 2, and 3, they that you'll find most of that material there, and I think that's a pretty solid way to get his stuff. So I definitely recommend that people check that out.
You're probably wondering what I'm looking at.
Do you have the
I think
his
I have a Tales of the Batman somewhere.
Tales of Batman? There's a series of books that they did hardcover, and they spotlight a different artist, like, or writer. So there's Tales of Batman with the one I have. I have a couple of them. One I have is with Matt Wagner, and they have a bunch of others that they've done, and Alan Grant, I think they've done, as well as some others. But yeah, he's got a 3 volume set. So if you can get those, I strongly recommend you do so. And yeah, our condolences to his fellow fans and his friends and family, because yeah, it's a big loss.
I scanned my bookshelf. I didn't see it over there, so it must be in one of my comic boxes somewhere. But I have one with that title on it. I don't know which one it spots lights, but I'm curious because I've had it for a while.
So I see the inklings of a future shout out coming soon.
And for my shout out tonight, I got to shout out that I'm a grandfather now.
You
I'm
are.
I'm a pops.
You're a bat grandfather.
So my granddaughter was born last week. So that's why we took a break last week.
Not that
So
anybody noticed because we're still releasing them one week at one yeah one a week. So hopefully nobody realized that we took some time off. But congratulations, sir, and I'm glad everybody's healthy. Your granddaughter looks adorable, and I saw the pictures, and I'm sure you're going to shower her with bat stuff.
oh yeah, you can guarantee that. So she's
Already
already get
planning her first visit to the Batman Museum.
well, her parents are already showering her with Star Wars stuff because they're both big Star Wars fans.
Ah, I gotcha.
So she's already getting Star Wars stuff, but don't worry, we'll get some Batman stuff for her too.
Don't worry, the loot is yet to come.
You got it. All right. If you'd like to comment on anything we talked about tonight, you can reach us at our feedback line 317-455-8411. Text us, leave us a message, or you can email us at batchumspodcast@gmail.com. All right. You ready to get out of here, Batchum?
BatChums are ready to move out.
Atomic batteries the power, turbines the speed. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you're on the correct side of the road in Londinium. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Don't worry, more fog is yet to come.